Welcome to this video on office procedures based on the Manual of Office Procedures 2010, revised and updated by the Nagaland Civil Secretariat. This video will cover six processes with regards to the submission and diarization of receipts. The perusal and marking of receipts, diarizing of receipts in sections, diarizing of receipts received by officers, movement of receipts, action by higher officers, allocation of disputed receipts. Let's first understand what is diarizing. Diarizing means registration of receipts in the section diary as well as in the diary register with the personal staff of officers. Let us begin by reviewing the perusal and marking of receipts. The diarist will submit all receipts to the section officer who will go through the receipts, forward misdirected receipts to the branch concerned, separate those which either under the departmental instructions or in his discretion should be seen by higher officers before they are processed and mark them to such officers, mark to himself such of the remaining receipts as are of a difficult nature or present any special features requiring his personal attention, mark other receipts to the dealing hands concerned, and where necessary, indicate urgency and give directions regarding line of action. Keep a note in his diary of important receipts requiring prompt action or disposal by a specified date, and submit the case to the officer who last noted on it if it is one returned by another department. This is followed by diarizing of receipts in branches or sections. The diarist will diarize in the branch diary all receipts except the following before they are submitted to the officers concerned. Receipts which, as a class, are adequately taken care of by a register specially devised for the purpose. Receipts which have already been diarized in computer. Communications received from members of parliament or MLAs for which a separate register is maintained for watching their disposal. Unsigned communications on which no instructions have been recorded by officers and on which no action is to be taken. Identical copies of representations save the one received first. Post copies of telegrams unless the endorsement contains a message in addition to that contained in the telegrams. Petty contingent vouchers, such as those relating to overtime claims of the staff, claims for coolie hire or conveyance hire, chits asking for articles of furniture, stationery, etc. Routine acknowledgements, casual leave applications, copies of miscellaneous circulars, office memoranda, extracts, etc., circulated by any branch for general information. Any other types of receipts which, under departmental instructions, are not required to be diarized, interdepartmental notes, telegrams, or any other category of receipts sought to be distinguished from the rest may be entered in the branch diary in red ink. Receipts redirected to other sections will also be diarized. Papers referred to another department will be diarized each time they are received back. For those referred under diary numbers, however, previous and later entries in the diary will be linked by giving the earlier and the later diary numbers against each entry. If a receipt is diarized after a lapse of more than 15 days from the date it bears, the entry regarding date in column 3 of the section diary will be circled in red ink. The diary number of a receipt will be indicated in the space provided for the purpose in the stamp affixed by the central registry. The section officer will scrutinize the branch diaries once a week to see that these are being properly maintained and append his initials with date in token of scrutiny. In a computerized environment, the format of the diary register will be as in Appendix 3 of the manual. A single diary number will be generated irrespective of where a receipt is diarized. All exclusions mentioned in subpara 2 above would be applicable. Appropriate codes in remarks column would indicate the different categories of receipts as well as redirected receipts or receipts diarized after a lapse of more than 15 days from the date it bears, as mentioned in earlier subparas. Papers received back from other departments will be diarized and will be linked to previous diary numbers as they can be easily traced electronically. The diary number will be indicated on the receipt as in the manual system. The section officer will generate a status report of the receipts from computer every week to ensure proper monitoring. Further, let's take a look at the process of diarizing receipts addressed to officers. Who will diarize and where? The personal staff of officers of the rank of Under Secretary and above will diarize receipts addressed to their officers in respective personal section diary. Envelopes received without contents or with material not marked to any officer should also be diarized with necessary comments. How many times is a receipt diarized? No receipt will be diarized more than twice. A communication once diarized above the section level will not be diarized a second time till it reaches the branch where it will be diarized in the branch diary. For example, a communication received by the minister and diarized by his personal staff need not be diarized at the level of secretary, additional secretary, joint secretary, deputy secretary, etc. In the computerized diary system, no receipt will be diarized more than once. For receipts addressed to officers, diarizing will be done by their personal staff. Let's now discuss the movement of receipts. Receipts submitted to officers will move in pads conspicuously labeled as receipts pads. Their movement and perusal will receive prompt attention. The section officer will keep a careful watch on any hold up in the movement of receipts. The diarist will bring to his notice any receipt which is not received back from officers within one working day. Post submission of receipts, the addressed officers will take the following actions: go through the receipts and initial them, remove receipts which they may like to dispose of without assistance from section or to submit to higher officers, enter the diary numbers of the receipts removed with subpara 2 above on the movement slip. Where necessary, give directions regarding line of action to be taken on other receipts, and return the receipts together with movement slip, if any, to the section officer for action. Let's now finally look at how allocation of disputed receipts takes place. If a branch feels that it is not concerned with a misdirected receipt forwarded to it, the same should be brought to the notice of the officer designated by the department for deciding allocation of disputed receipts. Thank you for watching this video on office procedures. based on the Manual of Office Procedures 2010, revised and updated by the Nagaland Civil Secretariat.